What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Falcons Today. We got a loaded show for you guys. Make sure you're buckled in and got the popcorn ready. It's going to be a good one because, first, we got a little bit of James Pearce Jr. for you guys, as he is listed as a favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. We'll break down what CBS Sports had to say. And then, up after that, PFF projected the starters for the Falcons. We'll tell you how many rookies are in that starting group. And, of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to us right here at Falcons Today. It's daily. It's free. It's the best coverage you're going to find here right on YouTube. And if you want updates during Falcons minicamp, which starts tomorrow, make sure you guys subscribe. Don't miss a thing. We'll have it covered right here on Falcons Today. So join us by hitting that big red sub button. All righty. Now, let's talk about James Pearce Jr. because I know it's crazy. Matthew Peterson and I share the same last name. Well, that's not the only thing we share because I'm also a University of Tennessee grad. I know, very hard to believe. It's 100% truthful. You can go look at my Instagram, go look at my Twitter. And so I was really, really excited when I saw where James Pearce Jr. landed. But I wasn't the only one because CBS Sports shares that same excitement. Because not only did they have him in the top 5 for Defensive Rookie of the Year rankings, they had him number 1. CBS Sports released an article. They ranked which of the new rookies they believe most likely to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Mike Green 5, Maxwell Hairston 4, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. And then, of course, at that number 1 spot is James Pearce Jr. And there is a reason that the Falcons traded up, okay? And I think a lot of people saw that trade up and were saying, ooh, I don't think that felt like a very good choice. But I think a lot of that came because of the character and question concerns that you got from James Pearce Jr. at the end of the draft process. If you're just talking prospect overall, you look at that trade up and you look at it almost like the Baltimore Ravens trading back up to get a guy like Lamar Jackson, like a no-brainer, a guy who's got the talent, he's got the size, he's got the speed. His ceiling might be the highest of any of those prospects. You landed him. And there's a reason that they were so excited to do so. Chris Trapasso of CBS had a lot to say about the prospect, or the future hopeful Defensive Rookie of the Year. Said Pearce is a sizable, athletic, refined, and deceptively powerful outside rusher who demolished the SEC the past 2 seasons with a cumulative pressure rate of over 21%. I've written that statistic like 50 times the past 4 months, and I'm still astonished by it. If there's one thing this guy could do, it's pressure the quarterback. And he did a pretty good job at getting to the quarterback as well, finishing the job 17.5 sacks over the last 2 seasons with over 107 pressures. And I think Chris says it best. You see I don't want to say skinniness because who am I to call anybody skinny? But you see the size and maybe lack of bulk and you think, okay, he's 100% a speed rusher. He is deceptively strong. I agree with him on that point. Now, Defensive Rookie of the Year, it might be a little bit of a reach, but still that doesn't mean I can't see it happening. He's ending up in a place, he's going to a place that A, needs his help, and B, he's right there with another guy who was also mentioned in this article with Jalon Walker. Those are going to be 2 guys that every single offense going into those games has to put their focus on. Because they're going to be pretty much every time they step on the field 2 of the most athletic players within the 100 yards. Now, if you look at the rest of the list, Jalon Walker lands at plus 700 odds. Not bad. This is with Fanduel, right? Second best. If you look at it, right behind Abdul Carter, who has the best odds by far at plus 250. James Pearce on Fanduel's sites is a little bit lower down at plus 1,600. They're not as high as him as CBS Sports is, but still, regardless. Let's take what we can get. It feels really good to have both of these guys. This is one of those drafts. This is one of those first rounds that I feel like Falcons fans and just NFL fans in general are going to look back after a few years and say, how did we land both of those guys? Well, you did, and now you got to just wait for it to, pan out on the field. Alrighty, up next, let's talk about some PFF projected Falcons starters. They released an article projecting the 22 starters 11 on each side of the ball. And PFF actually doesn't just have one, doesn't just have two, but has 3 rookies in the starting lineup. One of them, which may really surprise you. Make sure you stick around. But first, let's talk about Fanatics because they have an awesome deal right now. All you got to go to is chatsports.com/Falcon sale. You can get this Falcon shirt. It was $55. Now it is only $36. Let me tell you, folks, it is hard to find team apparel, Nike team apparel for that cheap. And this is $20 off. Take advantage of this deal right now. Chatsports.com/Falcon sale. Of course, you're going to find that link in the comments and description of today's video. $20 off, Falcon shirt, long sleeve, looks great, feels great. Support us here at the channel. Support our friends at Fanatics. And most importantly, support your Atlanta Falcons by heading to that link, chatsports.com/Falcon sale. Mykel Penix Jr. at QB, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier as well. And then you go to the wide receivers with Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray-May McCloud, Kyle Pitts at that tight end spot, which tells you PFF feels like Kyle Pitts is going to be a Falcon despite all the recent trade rumors. You look at the offensive line group, and Ryan Newsel is the only change from last year this one, obviously replacing Drew Dahlman. Really excited about this group. Feel like if they have the ability to stick together through the entire season, stay healthy, this could be a really, really solid up front. And let's go to the defensive line now. Morgan Fox and David Onyemata are your 2 interior defensive linemen. Both guys who were fine, expecting a little bit more of a jump up, hopeful for a little bit more of the jump up. We all know the problems that Atlanta had on the defensive line last year, which is why they went with those 2 guys in the draft, who PFF has as starters. James Pearce Jr. on the edge, Arnold Ebiketie on the edge, Leonard Floyd at defensive end, also edge rusher as well. And then you look at the linebackers, Caden Ellis, Jalon Walker, 2 rookies in that starting lineup, 2 guys that we just talked about that we feel like they have the ability to really, really, make plays on the football and be disruptive. Now, the thing that's pretty obvious, it seems, through the first, 2/3 of this starting lineup, and especially when you get to the defensive line on defense, the Falcons are prioritizing speed in 2025. Now, there's some good with that. There's some bad with that, right? It's better in pass coverage, because you have, obviously quicker defensive linemen. They can get to the football quicker. They can get to the quarterback quicker. They can force the ball out. Helps your corners not have to cover as long, right? However, the con is it's a little bit of a liability in run stopping. You don't have as many of those big, massive 300-pound guys, and your edge rushers aren't usually the biggest guys either when it comes to weight on them. They're usually prioritized, like we said, with speed. And Jeff Ulbrich spoke to the media and talked a little bit about this and the change of the NFL over the last couple of years. Here's what the defense coordinator had to say. It's such a huge shift in how football has ever been approached. It forced me to reassess how I approach defense because I was classically taught in this game, you better stop the run first. It's been an evolution for me in the last 10 years. Do I want to stop the run? Of course I do. But I would say my focus is primarily to stop the pass. And let's be real, this already feels a lot better than last year's crew. And that was the biggest gripe of last year's crew on the defensive line. Every single quarterback, it felt like they had 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. And if I truly counted the Mississippis of how long they had, we'd be here for probably 10 more seconds. They had forever in the backfield. And you know whose job it made really, really hard? The defensive back room. And here's who PFF projected as the starters. A.J. Terrell, Mike Hughes, D. Alford, no surprises there. And then you go to the safety group, and you see Jesse Bates, but you also see Xavier Watts. And I don't know about this, because if I were being real, if I'm being honest, if I'm being candid, I kind of feel like Fuller starts, not because I don't believe in Xavier Watts, in his future, and in his abilities. Like, I think he's going to be a really, really good player, but there's a reason that you brought in Jordan Fuller in the first place. But still, next to Jesse Bates, regardless who that is, I have a lot of confidence in this safety room, okay? Whether it's Jordan Fuller, whether it's Xavier Watts, this group, I think just because of the improvements on the defensive line, their jobs are going to be a whole lot easier. I need you guys to tell me in the comment section down below how many rookies start in 2025. Give me your opinions. Weigh in for me. Take a guess. PFF has 3. I want to hear how many you think in the comment section. I think obviously at least 1 for sure. We'll see about the others. Walker's a lock. Okay, I think you don't draft a guy that high, that early, with that much upside that isn't a lock to start. Pearce, as of right now, is up in the air, but I expect that to probably change as you go throughout minicamp and training camp. I really think he's just going to impress a lot of people. And if he's not starting by week 1, I mean, I think he's still getting a lot of really good snaps, playing a lot of really good minutes. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We are so thankful you guys have spent your Mondays with us. So thankful you made it all the way to the end of this video. And if you did, it's obvious you like the content. Lock us in. Let's make this thing Facebook official and hit that sub button.